It's a party at my house all the time. So you can actually have children do this experiment that you just did. You don't have to tell them circumference or diameter. Ask them just to measure all the way around with a tape measure and measure something all the way across and record it on a piece of paper, especially if you just want them to get out of your hair. Just go find 10 things that are circles, and here's a measuring tape. Go do it. You get some peace and quiet for a little while. Then they'll come back with their sheet, and then you can pop it on Excel, and you can actually take the ratio all the way around divided by all the way across. And you'll find that when they measured big circles or small circles, they got pretty much the same number. This is a bar chart showing you what the number turned out to be when I took the ratio, and they're all hovering right around 3. That's really weird. That's bizarre. This one here is not a circular object. It's Excel's estimate of pi. That's the number you were finding by your experiment right here. That all the way around divided by the diameter gave you pi. And depending on how good a measurer you were, the closer you got to actual pi. So on your sheet, because sometimes we forget the punchline. You need the punchline because you're going to forget. We're going to have this on the quiz. Why do we use pi? Well, all the way, and it didn't depend on what measurement I was using. Is equal to pi. Well, what if all the way across was 1? Let's say it was 2. All the way across was 2. Then that means that the circumference divided by 2 would be pi. Well, if I multiply both sides by pi, I get the circumference as 2 pi. For if my all the way across was and that's important because it means that no matter what measuring tape I'm using, I can make my own measurement tape. I'm always going to get 2 pi as all the way around, if the distance across is 2. Correct? That's the experiment we just ran. It didn't matter what, if you were using centimeters and you were using inches, it didn't matter. If you were measuring a garbage can and you were measuring the oatmeal can, it didn't matter. That ratio always ended up being pi. So all the way around on a circle, that we call that a unit circle because the radius is half of the diameter. That means half of the diameters, we call that a unit circle because the radius is 1. So when the radius is 1, all the way around is 2 pi. No matter what kind of measurement device you're using. And that's kind of cool. And that's why in mathematics we use radians. We use radians because that is what it is all the way around. It's 2 pi. So why pi? All the way around is 2 pi. So why do they use degrees? We just ran an experiment in here that says it should be pi, right? It shouldn't be like, oh man, you know, I was going out with him and then he did a complete 360. It really should be, he did a complete 2 pi. That's what the experiment says. You're going to start using that, right? Or is it 180? That'd be pi. Can you imagine that on a basketball court? Wait till you see my 180 hook. Wait till you see my pi hook. I'm giving you the path to popularity here.